from the East Coast to the West Coast. The Los Angeles Dodgers. Trevor Bauer has been reinstated. So he is now back on the books, back on the payroll, reinstated after 194 games. So look, the first 50 games of the year, Bauer will not be paid for, but after that, he is back on the payroll. He will be due about $22.5 million this year, taking their payroll to right around the threshold of that CBT that this year they wanted to, it was going to be a reset year for them with the CBT, and now they're going to be right around it anyway because they have to pay him. Look, they knew this was coming.
Obviously.
We can sit here and talk about why haven't the Dodgers been doing much this offseason. Well, look, we're just finding this out a week ago that he's getting reinstated, but they've known this. They've known this contract is going to come back on their books. They've planned for this. Does it suck? Absolutely, because I do not believe Trevor Bauer pitches for the Los Angeles Dodgers this year. In fact, I do not believe that Trevor Bauer ever pitches again in Major League Baseball. I think he is done. However, the Dodgers still have to pay him for this year. That is just a fact. But January 6th is the day they have to make their decision. Not the
Friday.
day they have to. They have until then
to
make their decision. But I believe it's just a formality. I don't think he pitches there. And like I said, I truly don't believe he pitches again in Major League Baseball. I think it's a PR nightmare that no team is going to want to take on.
This is a really sensitive subject.
Yes.
Because any person who has experienced abuse or any kind of sexual abuse is going to be massively triggered by this and have a really tough time wrapping their head around a franchise, giving a guy, a player, a second opportunity who still believes he didn't do anything wrong. He's not apologizing. He's not taking responsibility. He's doubling down on that, saying that he didn't violate any of the terms. He didn't do anything wrong. He's even fighting back against some of the women. And we heard the Dodgers talking about they weren't interested in Carlos Correa because they didn't want to divide a fan base.
Talk about dividing a fan base.
They decided to bring him back, the LA Times actually did a poll. Over 19,000 people voted on this, and it is completely divided. 48.8% said release him. 51.2% said to keep him. You are completely dividing a fan base. I think it would be a horrible move to keep him, a horrible look. And I think the reason he doesn't pitch, at least this next year in Major League Baseball, is because he's not taking responsibility.
Yeah. I don't believe a team is going to want to take on the PR nightmare. And this situation, Bauer wasn't the best PR guy around the league before any of this. So look, I don't foresee that happening, but the fact of the matter is the Dodgers will have to pay him a majority of his contract for this season. I don't think he pitches there, but look, I've sat here multiple times and said, what are the Dodgers doing this offseason? What are they doing? Well, one, they've known this was coming, but they didn't sign one of the four major shortstops, which I truly believed they would. I thought it would be Dansby. I thought it would be Correa. I didn't know what direction they were going to go in once Trey Turner signed with the Phillies, but I truly believed they were going to. Well, that didn't happen. They haven't done much. They did sign JD Martinez to 1 year, $10 million, which I absolutely love. I love that deal. JD Martinez getting $10 million when Matt Carpenter down in San Diego is getting more than that. That's no knock against Matt Carpenter, who certainly had a resurgence last year in New York, but JD Martinez getting $10 million. Now, they didn't do a lot other than that. And to be fair, JD Martinez signing pretty much locks down the DH spot for the team, which isn't the best thing in the world. Like, JD's going to have to DH. So he's there for a year, but not much other than that. So this year has had to have been a CBT reset for them. JD Martinez was an interesting signing over Justin Turner, who had been there for a while, signs with the Red Sox for 2 years. $21.7 million Justin Turner signs with Boston. So I have a belief there with why JD and not JT. My belief is Justin Turner wanted a multi-year deal. JD Martinez, who wasn't coming off the year we've become accustomed to, is willing to sign a one-term deal to prove himself and sign a bigger deal. JD 1 year, Justin Turner wouldn't sign for 1 year. He wanted multiple, and you know what that 1 year does.
What?
JD Martinez is off the books. So is the DH slot after 1 year.
Shohei Ohtani.
All of this.
All going back to Shohei Ohtani.
Let's not lose sight of what's happening here. Everything I have been talking about. They're resetting the CBT, them not signing many players, them signing JD Martinez and not Justin Turner. All roads lead to Shohei Ohtani. They are setting up to throw the bankroll at Shohei Ohtani after this season. That is what's happening.
This season also feels like the end of an era for the Dodgers. There's only now 3 players left on this roster from their 2017 World Series run: Barnes, Kershaw, Chris Taylor. That's a lot. They let go of a lot of guys. Obviously, we've been talking about it this offseason. They haven't done much. We're slowly kind of understanding and learning why. But I'm with you. I could totally see Shohei Ohtani ending up in LA in a Dodgers uniform, and they're going to have to fight hard against those New York teams to get him.
Against those teams and the Angels. I don't think the Angels are a long shot here to retain him.
I think this year will have a lot to do with it.
Absolutely.
They have to show and prove that they can win, because Shohei Ohtani deserves and needs to be playing in the postseason. Yeah. So does Mike Trout. It is heartbreaking to see 2 of the best players in this generation not play in the postseason. So they need to first prove this is their year, prove to them that you can do it. Otherwise, I know they're both extremely loyal people and very respectful people, but this is your career.
Guess what? The game of baseball is not loyal. These owners aren't.
I know,
loyal.
but those 2 players, I know them personally. Those 2 players are extremely respectful and extremely loyal. And that can hurt you in your career if you're not with a franchise that is catching up to your level or building around you.
Absolutely.
In any way.
I completely agree with you. Those players are loyal. What I hope, and Shohei has been vocal saying his goal is to win.
Yeah.
Now, being a loyal player, I think the Angels benefit there, but these teams aren't loyal. Baseball players are a number on a piece of paper, and as long as you are helping that bottom line and producing
and healthy,
they love you. But guess what? The second you get hurt, the second you stop producing, they don't care.
Bye.
Right. So I understand loyalty. I really do. But there is a short window for you to be one of the best baseball players in the world and the best baseball player you can be. And if your goal is to win, go do it. If your goal is to make money, go do it. But the loyalty, I hope, doesn't come back to hurt. And because I do like what the Angels have done. I think the Angels have had a very underrated offseason this year. But you're right. They have to win. And if they're not winning by the trade deadline, it could be the end of Shohei in an Angels uniform.
I mean, look at Mike Trout. He's been there 10 years. He's played in 3 playoff games and lost all 3. They got swept.
Baseball needs better. Baseball needs those guys.
They need to be playing in the postseason.
Thanks for watching. If you love Flippin Bats, swinging 3-0, or just talking ball, join us. Call us at 213-537-9339 with your questions. We have a weekly guest, and we have a lot of fun, so hit that subscribe button.